Welcome back. Houston, Texas rapper Cartel Bo is officially facing a massive prison sentence for real street violence, bringing his surging hip-hop career to a dead stop. Hit subscribe, because what unfolds next is pure chaos as his legal downfall sparks a wild street war over his kids. The Houston hip-hop artist was sitting at the center of a growing public feud with the Houston Police Officers Union. You and I know it all started with a viral video where the rapper branded the Lakewood area Murderwood. That clip absolutely caught fire online, and for a hot minute, it looked like Cartel Bo was crowning himself the true voice of the streets, a guy willing to go on record and expose his neighborhood for what he claimed it really was. Drop a like right now. That clip hit over 1 million views, sparking an intense feud between him and the police union. Now, most artists would just let that fade, post a tweet, and move on. But Cartel Bo pushed it further. He sat down for a local TV news interview and doubled down, claiming the Houston Police Department was actively harassing him and calling venues to cancel his live shows after that viral documentary dropped. That is a massive allegation to make. He was essentially telling us that law enforcement used their power to destroy his hip-hop livelihood. People were definitely listening. We were all watching. And for a brief stretch of time, it genuinely looked like Cartel Bo might win this PR battle. Then the Houston Police Officers Union clapped back. And let me tell you, they did not hold back. He told people that Houston cops were calling venues to get his concerts canceled. The union said that is 100% false. We are not attacking him. We are questioning his credibility for calling Lakewood Murderwood. Literally, no one calls it that. Now, that alone would have been enough drama. But as we covered, the union didn't stop there. They went straight for his criminal record, stating publicly that he was on probation for 4 domestic violence cases. 4, not just one rumor, not one bad night out. 4 completely separate domestic violence charges tied to the exact same guy, telling our viewers that law enforcement was out to ruin his rap career. Suddenly, the whole narrative shifted. Cartel Bo wasn't just an independent artist fighting police overreach anymore. He was a man with a dark pattern, and that pattern became national rap news. Cartel Bo and his lawyer, Carl Moore, quickly moved to address the union's explosive comments about his rap sheet and what he strongly called the alleged doxing of his private home by law enforcement. His legal team pushed back hard. They denied everything. They deflected. They fought for camera time. But here is the harsh reality of fighting back when you have 4 domestic violence cases on record, is that the receipts always speak louder than PR. Hit subscribe, guys. Then came the arrest warrant. Cartel Bo and his child's mother were officially arrested down in Houston for violating a strict protective order. The exact guy who told us all that cops were destroying his career walked straight into violating a court order designed to protect a victim from him. The story was no longer about Murderwood. It wasn't about canceled concerts or venue calls. It was about what this man does when our cameras are off. This wasn't his first time either. Not even close, guys. Because to fully grasp what is currently happening to Cartel Bo today, you and I have to recognize that this is a guy keeping 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the justice system for years. Every time it looked like he was launching a mainstream hip-hop career, the dark streets pulled him right back. Let's rewind to where we first heard the name Cartel Bo, because his origin story tells us absolutely everything about the intense risks he was willing to take and the dangerous company he was willing to keep around. 2 local rappers, Maxo Cream, real name Emekwanam Biosa, and NFL Cartel Bo, real name Warren Brown, were filming a music video for their track Hoova at Lakewood Park down in Houston, Texas. On the surface, it looked like your standard hip-hop video shoot. Artists, a park, extras, cameras rolling. But what they captured in the frame would quickly become one of the most damaging pieces of self-snitching evidence in Houston rap history. The footage actually included about 2 dozen alleged members of a Houston street gang as extras. The 52 Hoover gangster Crips, seen in the debut video waving loaded guns right at the lens. Not props, not replicas, real loaded weapons. And not just one, nearly a dozen of them. Now, here is where our story gets worse. These artists were filming at a park right next to Hilliard Elementary School, right around the time classes let out. Some young students even made it into the rap video. Children innocently, walking out of class and straight into a frame with convicted felons, brandishing illegal firearms. As journalists, that detail alone tells us how little thought went into the planning of this shoot. When police officers rushed to the video set, and the video literally opens with footage of Houston police arriving at the park, most of the crew on set just ran, leaving behind the loaded weapons they flexed for the camera. They literally filmed their own scattering. Welcome to the news desk. Make sure you hit subscribe. Those abandoned guns became cold evidence. That World Star clip dropped, and investigators weaponized it. 2 million views later, police tracked down every single person in that footage. Our sources say law enforcement went frame by frame. They paused, zoomed in, and ran those faces. The Houston Police Tactical Squad, alongside federal agents, analyzed the music video scene by scene. They wanted to identify every individual holding a weapon and pull their criminal backgrounds. The result? 20 individuals were swiftly taken into custody. Every single one caught weapons charges. This happened after detectives used the viral footage to pinpoint nearly a dozen loaded firearms connected to the alleged gang affiliates flexing on camera. 20 arrests from just one single rap shoot. Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo spoke to the press, instantly crushing any artistic freedom defense. He told us, "These are bad people. They are cowards, and they have zero respect for the sanctity of human life." He added, "And they present a clear danger to our community." As editors, we watched this story explode nationwide. The massive, nationally syndicated Breakfast Club show crowned these two rappers Donkey of the Day. Host Charlemagne the God went in, pointing out they had completely confused entertainment with reality. He stated, "You cannot do crime and be a professional rapper. The two do not mix." Hit that like button. Now, here is why Cartel Bo's situation stood out as uniquely terrible. He was not just some background extra. He was the star. And as a convicted felon, our newsroom knows he understood exactly what holding those firearms meant for his freedom. Warren Tremaine Brown II had 4 active pending charges, including 2 state-level counts of unlawful firearm possession by a felon, alongside a serious conspiracy charge, and a federal count for possessing a gun as a felon. To make matters worse, he allegedly threatened a cop on the ride to jail. Then he ghosted. Brown officially went on the run after catching charges for holding 2 assault rifles and threatening an officer. He had just bonded out and was strictly ordered to wear a GPS ankle monitor, which he quickly sliced off before going completely radio silent. He did not just bend the rules, he literally severed his ties to the court and vanished. That specific detail, the ankle monitor going dead, the absolute silence, that is the exact moment the rap career crashed head-on into harsh street reality. As commentators, we know destroying a court monitor is a choice that feels like temporary freedom, but instantly becomes the ultimate nail in your permanent criminal record forever. Warren Brown made that reckless bet, and the police never forget. While he stayed on the run, the rest of his video co-stars were getting booked. Detectives built airtight cases. Heavy federal charges kept piling up over the state charges, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Texas was actively making it crystal clear they were not playing around. 11 convicted felons practically gift-wrapped federal prosecutors the exact evidence required to lock them away on weapons violations. Our reports show all were Houston natives, and all were prior felons caught shooting a music video at Lakewood Park while blatantly waving loaded guns around. That footage hit YouTube and got massive promotion from World Star Hip Hop. One by one, police hauled them in. One by one, they took plea deals. The final suspects received heavy sentences for the unlawful possession of the Jideo, a firearm by a convicted felon. When the dust finally settled, the main artist, Warren Brown, known as NFL, Cartel Bo, caught a massive 78-month prison term. That is 6.5 years federal time, no early release. For good behavior like you see in the state system, he had to sit and serve. His co-defendants caught terms ranging from 60 months down to 20. Catherick Lewis served 60 months. Ivory Vershawn Brown and Jarrell Grant each took 36, while others faced 30, 24, or 20-month bids. But nobody took the massive hit Cartel Bo took. We noted he was the face of the visual, the marquee artist heading the project, and his strict sentence heavily reflected that status. Now, the big editorial question hanging over this entire saga is simply this: what happens when he comes home? Does a long stretch in federal lockup actually rehabilitate a person? Does a guy who went to those extremes, filming with armed gang affiliates, catching felonies, destroying his ankle monitor, going on the run and doing hard federal time. Does he step out and choose a better path? You and I both know we need to examine his current domestic violence allegations closely. Those 4 recent cases, the Houston Police Officers Union announced in 2026, are not old news. Their official stance was incredibly clear. He was actively on probation for 4 domestic violence charges. Probation means strict supervision, meaning there were daily legal conditions he had to follow. A rapper who did federal time came home and supposedly tried to rebuild his rap career, then landed on probation for not 1, but 4 domestic violence charges. Hit that subscribe button. That's a pattern our newsroom knows courts rarely ignore. His recent protective order violation, which sparked this latest high-profile arrest, makes it crystal clear. His release conditions weren't just bent. They were completely shattered. As legal experts remind us, probation exists to give offenders a path back. It is a vital chance to function in society without returning to a jail cell. Protective orders for domestic violence exist because someone, somewhere, told a sitting judge they were terrified, and the court agreed. Violating that order is no simple paperwork error. It is a choice. We are covering the almost cinematic timing of Cartel Bo's viral moment. He finished his federal sentence. He was back, in Houston, making hip-hop music, building hype, and doing exactly what artists do to reintroduce themselves after a scandal. Then came that infamous Murderwood video. The massive tension started right after it released a clip branding the Lakewood area as Murderwood. It was precisely the kind of content engineered to go viral, controversial, highly local, and deeply tied to street credibility. It worked perfectly. The hip-hop news sparked an intense public feud, pulling well over 1 million views. But the Houston Police Officers Union was never going to let the Murderwood label slide by unchallenged. They completely denied his claims about calling rap venues, branding them 100% false, and publicly shredded his credibility for pushing the Murderwood nickname. As journalists, we see their simple argument. The neighborhood simply does not carry that name. The implied murders do not reflect actual local crime data. They claimed he used community struggles purely for rap branding. Then Cartel Bo did his press interview. He sat down for an exclusive broadcast on The Factor Uncensored to tackle this growing public PR nightmare. He brought his defense attorney. He alleged to cameras that local law enforcement was actively sabotaging his rap career by calling music venues. He claimed he was facing targeted police harassment. He framed himself as an artist being hunted by the establishment. It was a compelling broadcast, but our editorial team watched it unravel fast. The police union maintained they were just presenting cold facts about his rap sheet, and those facts were ugly. When they leaked details about his 4 domestic violence cases and active probation status, the entire media conversation stopped being about Murderwood and pivoted to the safety of people in his private life, away from the cameras. The police union was not targeting his music. They were targeting his criminal conduct. His attorney, Carl Moore, desperately tried redirecting the conversation toward what they called the malicious doxing of his private residence by law enforcement officials. It was a classic legal pivot. Try making police behavior the headline instead of the rapper's history. But when you are on live television defending a man currently on probation for 4 serious domestic violence cases, that doxing allegation is fighting a steep uphill battle for general public sympathy. Ultimately, that specific interview gave this news story serious legs. It kept Cartel Bo in the breaking news cycle, kept law enforcement watching, and put his face before an audience that finally had the dark context they lacked before. Now, every single clip, share, and comment thread was permanently attached to those 4 damning words from the union. 4 domestic violence cases. Hit like if you are following along. The Houston street rap community, watching this all unfold, remained largely quiet. Not because they lacked opinions, they clearly had them, but because our investigation shows the exact specifics of what was said were nearly impossible to defend publicly. His PR camp pushed back. The union pushed back harder, and the streets watched closely. Our newsroom found that the Lakewood Park connection adds a totally different layer to all of this drama. Lakewood Park, where the infamous Hoover video was filmed, sits in northeast Houston, the exact same area Cartel Bo currently brands as Murderwood in his trending viral video. The very same park, the exact same community, the same rap artist, older now with a federal conviction, still making that exact same neighborhood the focal point of his controversial artistic identity. We report that as either intense dedication or a total inability to move on. Depending on your media diet, you view it differently. The police union called it a dangerous fiction. Cartel Bo defended it as authentic hip-hop storytelling. The courts, as our reporters discovered, were about to have the absolute final say on his life behind closed doors. This latest arrest for the warrant and protective order violation was no surprise to any journalist paying attention. Reports confirm Cartel Bo and his child's mother were detained in Houston on a warrant for violating a civil protective order. When we broke that news online, the public reaction was swift, less shock, more like a grim recognition. Viewers following our coverage saw this coming, the exact moment the police union publicly exposed his fragile probation status on air. Let's clarify what a protective order violation actually means here in Texas. They are civil, legal. Let's break this down. These legal instruments restrict proximity to homes or schools, strictly banning behaviors like abuse, harassment, and stalking of survivors. Hit that like button if you agree violating this means instant arrest. It is absolutely not just some technicality or a simple misunderstanding. A judge actually reviewed the evidence, listened to the people involved, and officially ruled that strict distance was completely necessary to keep someone safe. Whenever you violate that mandate, you aren't just breaking rules. You are blatantly overriding a court's protection of another human being. This detail that his child's mother was also arrested during this exact incident adds some messy complexity that the legal system must untangle. But the primary news fact remains unchanged here. Cartel Bo was under strict court supervision. There was an protective order in place, and he clearly violated it. Subscribe to follow this case with us. Now, look at Warren Brown, too, from start to finish. He came up through the Northeast Houston rap scene, building a massive name in the streets. He linked up with Maxo Cream, who honestly walked away from that entire Hoover situation almost completely unscathed, legally. Wow, Maxo Cream avoided arrest over that Hoover video entirely. Two different rappers, the exact same video, totally different legal outcomes. That split tells a huge story about choices and hard consequences running deeper than any single incident. Cartel Bo, a documented convicted felon, was initially released on bond and ordered to wear an ankle monitor, which he quickly sliced right off before fleeing from the police. He served his federal prison time, then he came back. He attempted a comeback, but then those domestic violence charges piled up. Probation was eventually granted, that protective order got issued, and then that exact order was blatantly violated. You and I can see each event was a clear crossroads, where a better choice was definitely available. That ankle monitor? He could have kept it on. Those domestic violence cases? Each one marked a moment where real change was entirely possible. The protective order was clear, highly specific, and legally binding. At every single turn, he chose the same destructive path. The Houston Police Officers Union, whatever their specific motives for going so public with his criminal record, absolutely didn't invent those 4 domestic violence cases. They never manufactured his ongoing probation status. They just read straight from a file that already existed. And the absolute hardest truth in this entire story is that the folks actually hurt by that file aren't the police union, they aren't local law enforcement, and they aren't the rap industry. They are totally private citizens whose names never make the headline. Cartel Bo built his whole public persona around the gritty reality of one specific Houston corner, the Murderwood label, the hooligan video, that Defiant TV interview. All of it was a massive performance of street toughness and pure authenticity. But the real violence that finally caught up with him in court wasn't shot for a music video. It wasn't fake for WorldStar. It was heavily documented inside protective order filings and official probation records. Exactly where this goes next depends entirely on what the courts decide. Severe probation violations, especially when stacked on top of existing domestic violence charges, easily trigger a harsh revocation hearing. For any rapper with a federal felony history and 4 active domestic cases, judges don't tend to go leniently. The legal math is completely unforgiving. Cartel Bo confidently walked into every single camera he could find back in early 2026, telling everyone the police were trying to erase his career. But it turns out, the one thing destroying Warren Brown, too, isn't local law enforcement calling up his concert venues. It is a massive paper trail that started way before that Murderwood video. Subscribe as we watch it grow.